It's SBK Live on Real Radio 1041. Thursday night. SBKLiveRadio.com is the website. Check out our blogs, our picture galleries. Got some good stuff on there. Let's welcome our guest to the studio, Dan Oskopinski. Did I say it right?
Oskopinski. Yeah.
Oskopinski.
Yep.
So what is going on? Tell me all about what you are doing in Honduras.
All right. Right now, I just opened a nonprofit based out of Kissimmee in April.
Okay.
And I moved. I had a couple of events, a couple of fundraising events at DJ.
Right.
Did some poker events and stuff. And then I moved down there. I'll jump back real quick. Back the day after Christmas, I went down for 3 weeks. I was just trying to get out of here. And
you needed to get away.
I needed to get away.
And why did you pick Honduras?
I was doing nothing. I was DJing once in a while, but I was just doing the same stuff every day. And I just wanted to do something, you know.
Right.
And so I had some friends down there, a couple from Kissimmee, that I had went with a church in 06 and 07 for a week, just on like a little mission trip.
Right.
And I stopped going to the church, but I kept in touch with the people down there. And just one day I seen my friend. She was online on Facebook, but she was down in Honduras, and I was just like, I'm just going to come down for 3 weeks, you know, come down. Right. So she had been inviting me to come down. So I went down for 3 weeks. And by this time I was already walked away from pretty much everything in my life, trying to prepare to figure out what I want to do.
Right. By the way, I've been there where you're like, I got to do something different and I got to make a radical change.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know what it was, but I had been, since the very first time I went to Honduras in 06, I just knew, I was like, something like this is another world. You know what I mean? This is a chance to do anything, you know?
Right.
And so I knew for a long time, just little ideas in the back of my head. One day I'm going to do something, you know?
But you didn't know what?
I didn't know what or where or what. I didn't really care. I just knew I wanted to be involved somehow in changing the world, you know? Right. Typical, I want to change the world.
Yeah, everybody wants to do what they can. Yeah.
So I went down for 3 weeks, and they run an orphanage, and they also have a center for teen girls that are pregnant, mostly raped by their brothers and fathers, a lot of incest and stuff there. Right. So they take the pregnant girls in, they deliver the babies, they put the babies in the orphanage, and then they raise the girls, teach them how to be mothers.
Okay.
And so I was going down there to help them out. Sometimes I helped them do construction stuff, sometimes whatever, or just hang out with the kids.
Okay.
And while I was there,
you basically did like a Peace Corps mission without going through the Peace Corps.
Right. I just did my own thing. And that's another thing is I from doing business ventures and also going down mission trips and stuff, I always know I want to do my own thing. Okay. I don't, like, I will work for somebody else and help them out, but you didn't want to go wherever life takes you.
Didn't want to work within the confines of some others. You wanted to do your own thing, like you said. Okay, I understand that.
And that means being open to just letting stuff happen and going with it, you know?
All right.
And so while I was down there, I was sleeping at the orphanage, hanging out with the kids a lot, and it was just like a really crazy experience for me. They don't speak English, you know, so I'm learning Spanish, teaching them a little English. And while I was down there, the two main ladies that live at the orphanage quit.
Whoa.
Yeah. One was like one day, and then like 2 or 3 days later, they're like,
it's like, well, we got Dan.
Yeah.
We're out.
And they knew that I didn't really have anything that I had to get back to do. And I was just like, yeah, I'll stay. So I stayed for like another 2 months. And I was basically living there at the orphanage every day, waking the kids up, getting them ready for school.
You were running the orphanage.
Yeah. And it was awesome. It was an awesome experience for me. I learned a lot of Spanish. But once I started doing that, I had plans on helping them out, but also exploring Honduras and trying to find some business ventures, all kinds of stuff. And that kind of went out the window because I had to stay at the orphanage. And it's like, it's a gated thing with a security guard at night. It's kind of bad around there. So I had to stay there. And I would leave once in a while for an hour here to walk around town, get a haircut or something. And towards the end, I started going, hey, like crazy, I got to get out of here. So they got me some relief. I took off for a weekend or whatever. And I just wanted to go hiking or something and clear my head. And I seen in this tour book, I kept looking about this town, Sambo Creek, and there's all this tourism stuff to do, canopy tour, zip line, waterfalls. Yeah. I'm like, take me there. Tell the taxi cab guy, take me there. And we're driving through the town. Now, Honduras is Latino and Indian mix, you know, it's Spanish speaking. But there is a indigenous people called Garifuna, and they were...
Those are the black people.
And so when the slave trade was going on, one ship full of people took over the boat and crashed into one of the islands. And so they never made it here to actually be slaves or anything. And so they've been there for 200 years. And they got their own language and stuff. They speak Spanish now mostly because they're in Honduras.
What was their language?
It's called Garifuna.
Did you learn any of that?
Roll the weed.
What?
Over the bay you do.
Oh, I thought you said something else. What'd you just say?
There's a lot of Rastas around there. Over the bay you do means roll the weed.
Oh, that's what I thought you said.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what...
He said roll the weed, then he said what it was. Okay. I was like, I thought he said roll the weed. Okay, all right.
I heard them saying that a lot.
Right.
I don't really know too much of it. A lot of the kids don't speak it. It's mostly the older parents.
It's an outdated language, pretty much.
It's growing out.
Right.
And that's another big thing that I really want to do is try and help them preserve their culture because it's being invaded by the Americans with money, building stuff, and also the mixing with Spanish and learning their language.
They're losing their culture.
Right.
Right.
And so the taxi's driving me through the town, and I'm realizing right off the bat I don't see any tourists. It's just kind of a ghetto, and everybody's black. I didn't realize going in. So I stand out like a sore thumb.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I don't know where I'm going. I just tell a guy, drop me off at this restaurant. And I'm just going to order some food and look around and figure it out. And
I know the food was the bomb.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I know.
People, organic,
right.
almost free, everything, fish out the ocean. You know? But so the guy tells me my hotel that I wanted to stay is like a 10-minute walk down the beach. And after I eat, I'm walking down the beach, and there's like about 10 or 12 black kids, probably in their teens, early 20s and stuff, all starting to yell at me. And I'm like, keep walking, keep walking.
What are they yelling like? Give me some money, American.
Hey, Paco, hey, white boy.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to keep it moving. I don't know nobody. I don't know hardly any Spanish.
Right.
But I stopped, and I was just like, you're here to have an adventure, man. You want to experience something? I was like Jim Carrey in the Yes Man. I was just
you said yes to everything.
I was just like, go with it. If you got the best intentions and something bad still happens to you, then you're going to learn something out of it, you know? Go see what's up. Go talk to these people. And it wound up being one of the only people there that speaks English. Just my homeboy Hector. He's lived in New York for 7 years. So I'm talking to him right off the bat, and I could tell he was from Brooklyn. I didn't know the accent. So I'm just talking to him, and we're getting along. And I was like, talk to him for a minute. Then, all right, I'm going to the hotel, this and that. Oh, yeah, I'll come back and chill. And then he asked me later, we were chilling, you want to play basketball? This and that. I'm like, I got some shoes at the hotel. I'll go get them and play. Right. I still don't know. I've only seen the main road coming in, and then they live right on the beach. So that's all I've seen still. So it just looks run down, but I'm not totally knowing what's behind that first street, you know? Right. And so I'm like, all right, so we're chilling, and we're walking to the courts to play basketball, which is all the way through everywhere in town. And it is a ghetto. Like, I'm laughing at people here in the ghetto, you know?
Right. Oh, yeah. Like they
walking around with machetes, and the streets are like narrow dirt streets and gravel streets, and all the houses are little shacks up against each other. And I'm just keep telling myself second after second, don't start thinking too much, you know, don't worry, don't bug out, just go with it.
You felt like you might have been a little bit in over your head.
I was in the middle of, I don't know, if something went down, where the hell I would go.
Right. And no one really knew where you were.
And nobody really even knows me yet. Nobody knows nothing about me or anything.
And you're sticking out like a sore thumb. Wow.
And I went to the courts, we played ball. And here's the funny thing, he asked me, he was like, are you any good? I said, well, I was when I was younger. I haven't played in years. And they were walking, I'm like, I'm either going to be really good or really bad. I don't know, either one. Right. And so we're playing. I started playing pretty good. And so I'm feeling good. Like, all right, I'm gaining a little ground with these guys. I'm cool, you know. But I am out of shape. I smoke cigarettes, you know. I'm forgetting that if you win, you keep playing, you know.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So we win like 2 games. Then the third game, I'm starting to like huff and puff and get
this
tired.
This has been fun,
yeah,
fellas.
They're starting to look at me. And then the next game, we totally get handed to us. And then the one guy's getting mad. I'm not realizing how serious they're taking it. And I'm like, I don't want to play, man. After this, I'm good. But we chilled and everything. And then they probably meet a lot of people like that throughout the months. You know, tourists come through, one guy here or there. And so I told him I was coming back next weekend. We hit it off like, I don't know. Me and him are like brothers now.
This is the Hector guy from Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah. And so I came back the next weekend, and his girl is 9 months pregnant at this time. And they live in a little shack on the beach. It's probably about 8 foot by 15, 20 foot. And in there, there's like freezers and refrigerators and stuff because this guy uses it on Sundays to sell food and beer. So it's just like a box. All you have room to do is lay down, you know. And she's
Is it smaller than this room we're in?
It's probably about a quarter or a fifth of the room. And she's got a little girl, and she's 9 months pregnant.
It sounds like a prison cell.
I've been in jail cells, and it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. And they don't have a bathroom in there. And
where do they use the bathroom?
They've got a little outhouse where you get a bucket of water and you flush it when you're done.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
But I'm just looking at how they're living, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, a lot of people don't realize America is 5% of the world, and they got 30% of all the money, and we use 25% of all the resources of the world. We're using it because we keep all these other countries, these people that are a couple days walk away, you know, or a week or two away, and they can't provide for their families. And they're looking at what we show them on every music video, on every movie, all this abundance.
Because they're seeing that stuff down there.
Yeah, that's all, you know, that's all people want to see is what's over here.
Right.
And
like they would love to come here and be poor.
Love it.
Right.
You know, and I mean, and I got a different perspective on so many things because a lot of these kids have been to the States and got deported or are trying or have tried and not made it. And that's all they get by there and they do their thing there, but they're always still trying to hope or think or dream of getting here. And a lot of it is just so they can provide for their families. They got babies and stuff. They get by day to day, just barely making out of life, you know?
Right. It's WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. We're talking with, Dan, how you say your last name, Dan?
Oskopinski.
Oskopinski. Now, so you're in Honduras. You went for an adventure, and you got much more than that, and you got involved. At what point did you come back to Kissimmee and start a charity? And when did you know that that was what you needed to do?
Okay, another thing was, see, I'm into positive thinking. I read all kinds of books, you know, with the law of attraction, all these things. I know that I've drawn so much stuff into my life, everything that I decide that's what I want, somehow, you know, they come about.
Right.
And
You believe that?
I believe that, absolutely. And I studied, before I went down there for like a year, I studied a lot of things, but I got really big into studying African history and culture, like ancient African history and culture, and all kinds of stuff. And so how could it be much more, you know, perfect for me to be with this culture of people who are Africans? They are Africans. And you go there, it looks like you're walking around a village in Africa, you know? And so I'm like, this is awesome. And I got this guy who's like my brother now, that's my translator. He speaks good English, you know, and just everything is working out perfect. And his girl was about to have a baby. I said, well, I'm going back to the States for a month, and I'm coming back. And they probably thought I was joking or, you know, talk about living here.
Because they hear it a lot.
What white guy's going to come live here in the ghetto? Like, and I was like, I'm coming back, and we'll figure it out when I get back. You know, I'll look for a house or something. And while I came back, I had a month. I was going to be like fundraising and trying to tell people, and I couldn't stay away. I knew they was having her and another friend of mine were both having babies and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna buy another ticket and go. Oh, because they were having this big carnival and stuff. He kept telling me it was like a festival for their culture and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna go soak this in, and I got a bunch of stuff donated, baby clothes and as much as I could bring down. And I was able to bless them. These two girls who are young girls with nothing and nobody give them anything. Now they've got like awesome, you know, great clothes,
right,
and all this perfect stuff for the baby. And I was there for just a week, and I was doing it to document, to take a lot of videos, so I have stuff to show people. And so ever since then, I've just been on that's, you know, every moment is pretty much based on doing stuff for them or doing stuff here, raising awareness for when I'm going back. But I'm living there. And I come back every couple months for a couple weeks here. And I'm trying to get people, because now that I'm over there, I want to get people here involved, volunteering or just anything, so that a lot of people can keep on raising awareness and doing projects and fundraisers here while I'm down there.
Okay.
And it's anybody. My thing is, it's me. It's not a big organization or some people on TV telling you send them $20. It's me, a guy from Kissimmee. We can hang out. You can talk to me. We can be. It's not my thing. It's something that I'm doing. Anybody can help out. You want to just spend time telling people about it, or you want to donate clothes or give money or come down, help build some stuff. You know, I've got so many projects lined up. We're doing a lot of things already, but I'm on a limited budget.
Right. Like tell me some of the things. Like I was reading about you're feeding 30 to 40 kids a day.
Yeah, right.
How are you gathering the resources to be able to pull that off?
I had a business that I walked away from. I didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted to go do something new, and I didn't get much for it. It was pretty much a deal that I'm being sponsored a little bit of money each month for a couple of years to live and go down there and not have to work.